What's up, world? Welcome to The Positive Truth, inspiring and positive news for a more progressive society.
We're trying to bring awareness, empowerment, inspiration, optimism, and understanding to communities everywhere.
I'm JP.
I'm Tim.
We are The Positive Truth. We're saying it again. What are we bringing them today?
Positive news.
This week, we're not going to talk about an issue. We're just going to give you 10 positive news stories, make your life a better place. Not your life a better place. Make your week better. Hopefully it makes your life better.
Hopefully it makes you feel better in general.
But before we get to the positive news, we're going to tell you where we're coming from, where we're at. We're on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and YouTube at The Positive Truth. We're on Facebook at The Positive Truth Podcast, and on Twitter at TPT for The Positive Truth _podcast. We want you to tell us about things you want us to talk about. If you just want more just positive news stories, we'll do that. If you want us to talk about issues like gun control and how you can change it for the better, or medical marijuana, anything you want us to talk about, we're here. If you want to tell us about a positive news story, we would love to hear that.
Because we're here.
And we would love to tell that to everyone out there. Positive news story can be anything. It can be someone that's inspired you, someone that's helped you in life. Anyone that's left a positive impact. That's what we want to know about.
We definitely want to hear it. We want to talk about it in all reality. If you guys have anything to say about us, critique us, please. Be honest with us. We want to get better. We want you guys to feel better whenever you guys hear us. So if you have anything to say, please let us know. Hit us up on social media or email us.
Email thepositivetruth@gmail.com. You're never going to pay for this podcast. We're just trying to make the world a little bit better place, more care, more love for everyone. No fear, no hate, no discrimination.
Strictly positive.
Equality. So all we're asking you to do is share it with a friend, help spread the positivity to around the world. And we're going to start giving the positivity. Tim, hit me with the first positive news story.
Positive news story. This one is pretty cool to me because as a kid, did you ever go trick-or-treating?
Man,
I wish I could go trick-or-treating now. I swear, if I could go trick-or-treating as an adult, I would do it. Halloween is my favorite holiday. Well, let me start off this story with a little girl. She's 3 years old. She was on an airplane and did not get to go trick-or-treating. So guess what her dad decided to do? Right before they boarded, he passed out candy to everybody on the airplane. He let his daughter wear a costume on the plane, and while the plane was in the air, he allowed her to go trick-or-treating on the plane. Dad goals. When there's a will, there is a way. In all reality, so his daughter was pretty bummed out. She was sad because she really wanted to go trick-or-treating. This is one of the first ones she's able to go and actually go to the door and say trick-or-treat, and she wasn't able to do it because they had to make a flight, and I just wanted to bring some positivity, started off like that. What do you got for us, JP?
well, I want to stay on that for a second.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about it.
That's really good. I like that a lot because even though she didn't get to go trick-or-treating, that's an experience of a lifetime. Like, everyone's dressed up before. Everyone's went and got too much candy
That they did not need.
But no one's got that, 20,000, 30,000, 18,000, however high up you are, trick-or-treating goals. That's a great first experience. And like you said, that's dad goals.
Dad goals.
I like that one, man.
Nice. What do you got for us, JP?
My first positive news story is about a group of firefighters in Lowell, Massachusetts. They started a nonprofit called Coats from Man Above. And basically their goal is to hand out coats to people in need in Massachusetts because it gets cold there.
Oh, for sure.
This year they had 800 coats on hand, and they distributed coats to 400 people. It started 12 years ago when a group of firefighters collected 75 coats at basically fire stations and gave them to children in the neighborhood. And they've just done it every year since.
Awesome.
It's named after Anne, which is basically, it was an aunt of a firefighter. And before she died, she had 12 nieces, nephews, kids. She gave everyone a coat because it gets cold. So they're just keeping on her spirit. They have a Facebook page. Where's the link going to be at?
It's going to be on our podcast.
It's going to be in the description if you want to go donate. The group's raised $9,000 this year, and they always ensure that 100% of those proceeds go towards buying coats. So I just think that's awesome.
No, that's beyond awesome. Especially it gets cold, like you said. So
Especially if you're like me and you don't really have a coat.
you got a bunch of hoodies, right?
Man, I only have one hoodie. I have a lot of blazers.
Oh, professional. My bad. Okay.
Blazers aren't really like a coat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
As a kid, my mom would be like, put on your coat. And I just never took it.
I have one coat and I wear it like a blazer pretty much. I mean, it's what is it called? A petticoat? Is that what it's called? Or
I have no clue what you're talking
peacoat?
about.
Maybe a peacoat?
I
don't know.
No clue.
I don't know. I'm not good with style, but it's a nice little jacket. But
We're
that's
also in
I have.
Oklahoma where it's, 80, 90 degrees somehow
In November. Oklahoma for you.
So I just think that's awesome.
Yeah,
Tim, give
definitely.
me your second one.
All right, JP. So again, this is me and JP went to school together, so I know he can relate to this. But I'm asking this question anyways. Have you ever been in class and you've gotten a new student where the new student didn't speak any English?
I was like every year, man.
Every year, every single year. So I know you can relate to this. Well, this young girl, she's 10 years old. Her name is Amanda. She noticed that she had a new student in her class. She also noticed that the student looked lonely. He was sitting by himself. He, didn't have anybody to talk to. One, because nobody spoke Spanish around him. So she decided whenever she went home, she wanted to talk to the kid, but she didn't know how to talk to him. The young boy's name is Rafael. He's also 10 years old. She went home and was like, you know what? I'm just gonna write him a letter. So guess what she decides to do?
She wrote it in Spanish?
She wrote it in Spanish. Guess how?
Google Translate?
Exactly.
Oh.
These children are using technology, what we're trying to get other people to do, to take the next step and do something else. I mean, she decided to get on Google Translate and write him a letter. Guess what the letter said, man? I have it down here. Let me find it real fast. This is what the letter said. This is awesome. Listen,
okay.
Check this out. Would you like to sit with me today? Look for me and I will show you where to sit. We can color or simply tell scary stories. Thank you for your time. Signed, Amanda. She had her mom proofread it afterwards, after she wrote it. So cameras aren't allowed to go into school or anything like that because her mom shared this to Facebook, so everybody just shared it and went, bananas about it. Like, this is so amazing. I can't believe this young girl did this. She goes to class the next day. All the news stations are there trying to, see her give the letter to the young boy, and cameras had to wait outside. So the mom decided to tell everybody what happened, and her mom said that she went up to the young boy, gave Rafael the letter. Rafael looked at her, like, what are you doing? Who are you? Looks at her for a second, opens it up, decides to read it, and eyes just started tearing up right away. Amanda's eyes started tearing up. After she noticed his eyes started tearing up. The class all of a sudden started applauding, and then everybody stood up, and then the two kids hugged each other. Ever since Amanda gave Rafael the letter, they've been friends. They've been tight ever since. They actually went trick-or-treating together this year, and Rafael told Amanda's mom that they're going to be friends for the rest of their lives.
You remember the Thanksgiving episode we did?
Yes, sir.
We talked about, if you see someone that needs a friend, like, you need to go out and be that person. Because look at the positive influence you can have in someone's life. What is life without friends?
Exactly.
That right there.
It was a prime example. Like, it was, whenever I read that, I was in awe, man. I was in awe. Like,
so we should repeat that challenge. Like, if you see someone, doesn't matter if you're like, oh, they're 60 years old, you're 20 years old. Doesn't matter, different race. Doesn't matter if you're heterosexual or homosexual. If you see someone that needs a friend, step up and be their friend.
Exactly, and that's what you just said right there. Step up.
It's gonna help it's gonna be amazing, not only for their life but for yours.
Be a leader.
Need more of that, man.
Yeah, we need people to be a leader.
Shout out to the 10-year-old.
Shout out to Amanda. Go, Amanda. Hopefully you're listening.
Well, I have a story about neighbors and how they left a positive influence on a lady's life. The story is about Michelle Fidel. Her favorite holiday was not your favorite holiday. Her favorite holiday was Christmas.
Oh, okay.
But her doctors told her she had terminal cancer. So she was like, well, I don't want my grandchildren to miss out another Christmas with me. So let's have Christmas in October. So she told her neighbors, like, yeah, I have terminal cancer. I'm not gonna let it just bring me down. I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna be proactive. I'm gonna have Christmas now. So the neighbors found out when it was happening, and the 12 houses in her little neighborhood all put up Christmas decorations.
Oh, wow.
Just to like, we're here, we support you, we support everything you've done for our community. This is a little bit we can do to help. I think it's pretty amazing.
Oh, 100%, man. That's
Concord, North Carolina. Shout out to them.
Concord, North Carolina. Go ahead, North Carolina. That's awesome.
That's just positive community,
Yeah,
man.
great community support right there.
It's the little things in life.
It really is. Really is. Speaking of little things, have you ever been in a class where your professor allowed other students to bring their children to class? Mm-hmm. Have you? And how was that class for you?
It didn't change anything in the class.
Didn't distract you or anything?
Nah.
That's awesome, man. That's real awesome. We need more professors like that. You went to UCO, right? University of Central Oklahoma?
I went to OCCC and then UCO.
Which is Oklahoma City Community College, and then University of Central Oklahoma. Awesome. That's actually really, really good, and that goes in with my story. Basically, a teacher from USC named Dr. Ryan, she begged one of her students to bring her newborn son to class. Reason being, she knew that she just had her son a week prior to class being started because she had her last semester while she was pregnant. And she said, look, you're going to be overwhelmed. I know you don't have a babysitter. It's okay. Bring him to class. We'll handle that whenever the time may be. So she decides to bring her kid to class. The very first day she brought her to class, the teacher, was holding the son and, rocking him back and forth, and decided to teach the rest of the class with Sarah, which is the lady's name, her student's son. So Sarah, the mom, she took a picture of her teacher and she posted it to Facebook, and it just went viral. Everybody, of course, is sharing it because that's super sweet for you to bring, a newborn son in the class and the professor be okay with it, especially to hold it while she's teaching the class was even amazing. But basically, the reason she uploaded it to Facebook, she said she uploaded it to Facebook for a reason. She wanted to share the story for a reason. She wanted to inspire other moms, other students that have children to not be scared to ask for help after you have a child. A lot of college professors care, whether you know it or not, even though sometimes they grade and it's like, F, and they just think that's it, A, B, C, D, or F, and let's get out of that class. But there's a lot of college professors and a lot of people on college campuses that actually do care. This professor went as far as showing her where the breastfeeding room was in the health center. I mean, she went the extra mile to make sure that her student gets the degree that she was going for. And
to give her child a better life.
Exactly. And I think it's awesome on both sides. I think it's awesome from the professor's point of view, where she was just trying to help her student. And then I think it's awesome from the student's point of view. This lady tried to help me, so let me try to help you. And I think that's what we're trying to do. I think we're trying to help other people so they can help other people. And it's a beautiful circle. Beautiful, positive circle. Man. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. What else you got for us, JP?
So I have more of that keep it going with one positive thing.
Right.
Just keep pushing. It's about a 4-year-old who was with her mother at the grocery store on her birthday. Mm-hmm. She saw an elderly man and said, "Hi, old person. It's my birthday today." The man lit up, realized she was talking to him. They chatted for a bit, went their separate ways. They saw him later, and she was like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you on my birthday?" After they took the picture, she told him thank you, and he was like, no, thank you. This is the best day I've had in a long time. Always with sharing on Facebook.
Right.
Her mother shared it on Facebook, and one person in the community knew who that was and was like, "Oh, that's his wife just died a few months ago. He's been living by himself. He was 81 years old, really sad." It was just like, she really made his day.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that friend told the mother about it and was like, "I know his name." They called each other on the phone, became friends. Now they hang out every week. She went over for his birthday, his 82nd birthday.
Oh.
She said, the 4-year-old said no one should be alone. So she got him a little stuffed puppy because they couldn't get him a real puppy.
Right.
And
children
are amazing.
Oh my gosh, they're amazing.
She called him Mr. Dan. And Mr. Dan said, I was having a really bad day before I met her. It was one of those days I was having my own little private pity party. I was feeling sorry for myself and doubting my beliefs. Since I met her, it changed my opinion that day and lifted my spirits that I hadn't had in a long time. Before he met her, before he had that little positive experience, since his wife had died, he hadn't had uninterrupted sleep in months. It was just sad.
Man.
Lost your partner. Since basically he met her, had a little friend to talk to. It's given him so much hope. He's sleeping better, living a better life. It's just one little thing.
And it's a child. Again, I mean, we've talked about children doing amazing things in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. It's amazing. And I'm going to continue that trend right now because my next positive news story is about a 10-year-old boy. This 10-year-old, man, children are the future. Let's be real. Let's stop for a second and talk about that. How important children are. Like, they are the most beautiful, amazing, precious things in the world. The kindness that comes out of them, their heart, just naturally, without questioning anything, is so positive. It's wonderful. Like, we need to learn from our children a little bit more instead of trying to tell them what to do all the time. Because in all reality, if you allow them to be them, look what's going on in society right now.
Absolutely, man.
Let's talk about this 12-year-old boy. His name is Campbell Remis, and then he's become an internet sensation overnight.
I thought he was 10, man.
I thought he was 10, and then I read 12. I was looking at,
Okay.
I'm human.
Pushing.
I'm human.
Keep pushing.
I'm going to push right through this, all right? So this 12-year-old boy, he became an internet sensation overnight. Basically what he does is he makes teddy bears for children that are sick, all around the world. He'll send it to them. What happened is this kid has been doing it for 3 years, right?
Okay.
3 straight years doing it. Every day he spends, at least an hour a day making teddy bears for children. So somebody interviewed him for it, a local news station, of course, again, Facebook, uploads to Facebook, Twitter, social media, and just blows up. People are sending in ribbons, sending in fur, sending in all kind of stuff that he needs to make these teddy bears to send to sick children. And he sends so many out. I wish I had a number that he sent out.
I've actually read this positive news story. He sends out one a day for the past 2 years.
Yeah, see, there we go, right there. And him doing this one a day, since he became an internet sensation overnight, his mom actually had to set boundaries for the interviews that he gets. So he still has to do his chores. He still has to do his bed, take out the trash, his normal home duties. But what his mom decided to do is set a boundary on interviews. He's only allowed to take one interview every 2 days. And then they also, whenever they were interviewing him, they asked him, so how do you have time to make bears if you're doing your chores, going to school, and doing interviews, once every 2 days? And he said, well, I do the interview, and I go right back to doing the bears. I do my homework, and I go right back to doing the bears. I do my schoolwork, I go right back to doing the bears.
What were you doing at 12?
Video games.
Basketball. Girls.
I was 12 years old, man. That's middle school right there.
That's pretty unselfish for 12. That's pretty unselfish for anyone.
Oh yeah, 100% pretty unselfish. And it's a child doing it, and it goes right back to children. Like I don't understand. Like, and I'm just now starting to realize where this trend here is positive news. It has something to do with the child every single time.
I mean, that's just what we're finding, but there's positive news everywhere.
Oh yeah, there's positive news.
That's why we need the viewers to send it in so we can tell about 30 and 40-year-olds still getting it, still putting out that positive work.
Exactly.
So my next one is about renewable energy. Last year, it accounted for more than half of all new forms of power generation worldwide.
Say it again?
More than half.
More than half.
More than half.
Nice.
It's basically a new report put out by the International Energy Agency shows that renewable electrical capacity growth reached an all-time high in 2015. That's the 153 gigawatt mark. I don't know what that means. I just know it's a 15% increase since 2014, and that puts us over 50%.
Nice.
To put this figure in perspective, that total in renewable growth is equivalent to the total current power capacity of Canada alone. So that's just how much growth we've had. We have enough renewable energy for whole countries, multiple countries right now.
Winning right now. We are winning.
Renewables in the form of solar and wind energy now account for more than basically any form of electricity on the planet, including coal. So, have you driven to Dallas recently?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Have you seen those new wind?
They're so, every time I look at them, I feel like they add more and more.
They're huge, aren't they?
They are huge, they are.
So we're in Oklahoma City, if this is your first time tuning in. So everyone in Oklahoma City has driven to Dallas.
For sure.
Because it's
3 hours away.
Exactly. And they have these wind turbines set up. And they're huge, and they're just everywhere. And they've just been set up in the past few years. And better for our environment, cheaper, everything. Loving it. Getting better every day.
That's awesome. So back to positive news. On my side, first I want to say before I tell this positive news story, congratulations to the Chicago Cubs. First time in 108 years they won the World Series.
I only follow one sport.
Look, I don't follow baseball until my friend actually called me what do you call me, a state fair fan? I start watching baseball after the state fair. I thought it was the funniest thing. I was like, you know what? I'll take that.
But I don't think people are going to get that. Aren't state fairs different in different places?
That's true. I mean, Oklahoma City, we have state fair in September every year, so in October's playoff times. I mean, hey. Well, back to this. Chicago Cubs won the World Series, so this man decided to drive 600 miles to listen to the Cubs win the World Series with his father at his father's gravesite, keeping a promise that he set before his father passed away. His father was a Navy veteran. He passed away in 1980. He believes that the Navy is the reason why he's a Cubs fan, because whenever he was stationed in Chicago, they used to go to Cubs games because there wasn't really much to do over there. The closest thing to Major League Baseball, because I guess the Cubs weren't Major League back then, but they are now. But anyways, all he knew for a fact was that his dad was a loyal fan, and his dad said, when, not if, but when they win the World Series, make sure we listen to it together or watch it together. And this man decided to keep this decade-long journey, which his father passed away in 1980, to drive 600 miles from North Carolina to Indiana just to keep that promise. And to me, I thought it was a beautiful thing, because people look at sports like it's a waste of time. I don't understand it, but then there's stories like this that are behind it. And it's heartwarming.
Brings people together.
It does. Every single time, people that aren't even alive anymore, it brought him to his father. He said he had to talk to his sons before he left and drove, because he's not a young man anymore. I believe he's 74 now. He had to talk to his sons, hey, look, I made this promise to my father. I know we wanted to watch this game together because he's a Cubs fan. His kids are a Cubs fan now. And his friends understood, his sons understood, and he just left in the middle of the night and made it all the way there to listen to the game with his dad, which I thought was just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
That's what's up, man.
Yes, sir.
I got one last beautiful, beautiful story.
Let's hear this beautiful story.
It's about an Olympian. I know that happened months ago.
Okay.
But he was a silver medalist, and he donated his silver medal for cancer treatment for a child that he met while he was training. That was his main motivation for the medal. It's like, if I medal, I'll sell it. That way you can get your treatment. And that's pretty much the gist of the story. That's as amazing. Even though it's really short, that's as amazing as it sounds.
Oh, yeah. That short story was amazing. Think about it. I believe he was a shot putter, too.
Yeah.
I read something on this. People train their whole entire lives to go to the Olympics. I mean, if you play a sport as a kid, you dream about the Olympics at one point in time.
To be the best person in the world. There's 7 billion of us, and you're the best.
For you to train that hard, to dream that much as a child, and then to give it away for the greater good, man, that's a hero. A true hero.
Exactly. This is one of those things where it's like you wish you had enough money to go buy the medal back, give it back to him, and then hopefully he sells it again to give it to another cancer treatment. It just keeps on going. The whole cycle just keeps on going.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely, man. Like, you're the second best person in the world, and you have no proof to it because you were willing to give it away for someone else that needed it.
A true hero. True hero.
You got any more last true hero over there?
Do I have any more? I believe that's all the positive stories I have.
So we're done already?
We're finished. This is a quick one today.
But it was worth it. It was all positive news stories. Make your week a better place.
Definitely feel good moments here today.
If you have any positive news stories, I'm going to say it again. Let us know on Twitter, Facebook, and the Gmail. If you would like us to be on another platform, we'll be on that too with the quickness. You just got to let us know. Please share, please share, please share. Subscribe, leave us a review. Tim, you got a quote?
Oh, I have a quote. Do I have a quote?
I got one.
Oh, you have a quote?
I got you.
Off the top of the head?
Yeah.
Let me hear this.
It's always wrong to hate, but it's never wrong to love.
Bars. That was a good quote for sure.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, you ready?
I'm always ready. We out of here. Positive truth.
Thank you for listening.